up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast. That's right, it's the Anything Better podcast with Paul Virzi, Bill Burr, and our producer, Andrew Themeles, out there in Beverly Hills. And you guys are listening to our Halloween episode number 39. What is that, Tres Nueve? Is that the right way to?
I don't know how you say. That's how you say 3 and 9. I don't know how you say 39. I can tell you this right now: the best football players that I ever saw wear number 39.
Yeah,
tough number, Paul.
I know none.
Yeah, because there hasn't been a great 39 in a while. The one that first popped in my head as a Pats fan, number 39 from the USC Trojans, Sam Bam Cunningham.
Wow.
Sam Cunningham.
Okay.
And then also from the Miami Dolphins. This guy ran wild, part of the last perfect season. Larry Zonka. He had that little thing there like a bull's nose. That guy used to just plow through us, man, with the black cleats. Back when the fucking goalpost was right on the end zone, right on the goal line.
Was he on that undefeated team?
Yes, he was. Him and Jim Kick. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Bob Greasy under center, Paul Warfield out to the right. Garo Yepremian almost fucking the whole thing up.
Yeah.
That was their kicker.
After
bald
35,
like he ran a car wash.
After 35, the numbers kind of stink, but I think once we get into the 40s next week, but 39 is tough. I couldn't think of a 39.
I didn't even have a baseball one. Let me look up a baseball one real quick. Greatest MLB number 39 player. I mean, I can't think of any 39. Well, oh wait, Dave Parker?
Was he 39?
I don't know. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we say. What was Dave Parker? Dave Parker, the Cobra. The Cobra, Paul.
Such a great nickname. Let's see. That's such a
I don't know what happens
nickname,
here.
Dude.
I can't find. Let me see. I don't know who it is, but we don't have time for this. Dave Parker, number 39. Let's see if he wore it. Did he wear it? Why won't my internet work? Dave Parker, images. Okay,
here we go. I got NBA.
Dave Parker, number 39. Woo! Nailed it, Paul.
That's great. You know what else? I don't know. Dwight Howard was 39.
Dwight.
What's that?
Dwight Howard. Not
Dwight
Dwight.
Howard.
Dwight.
This says Dwight.
Dwight.
This
That's
doesn't
how you pronounce it.
Okay, Dwight Howard. No, it's not. It's Dwight.
No.
It's like Dwight Gooden.
Mm-mm.
All right.
I disagree. When he was out here, it became Dwight.
Greg Ostertag, 39 on the Utah Jazz back in 2001.
That is the most unathletic name I've ever heard in my life. Greg Ostertag?
Yeah, he was a big white dude in Utah.
Sounds like he sells jeans at the Gap. Well, if you'd like, you can talk to our manager, Greg Ostertag.
Yeah.
What seems to be the trouble?
He wasn't. I don't know if he was in there for too long. But you guys,
all right, Paul, you know what I would like to talk about, Paul? I would like to talk about the World Series. How it is the Houston Astros, and it is the Atlanta Braves.
Yep.
And the national sports media is saying this is a nightmare series for Major League Baseball because it's the city of Houston and the city of Atlanta, and nobody cares. That's what he's trying to suggest. And it's like, isn't that something wrong with the fucking league?
Yes.
Because the Super Bowl, it doesn't matter who plays. Everybody's watching. Everybody's excited. Why is it that baseball, Major League Baseball, basketball's and NBA basketball's another one, where David Stern, that little slippery eel there, where he was, who's your dream finals? He goes, the Lakers versus the Lakers. It's just like, what kind of league are you running here?
Yeah.
So if the Minnesota Timberwolves comes there, nobody gives a fuck because you allowed all this. And you look at both leagues allow pile-on teams.
I can't dispute that.
Hey, Paul, I'm making points here.
Because you know what? If the Jacksonville Jaguars play in the Super Bowl against, let's say, the Cardinals, I'm in. No, I want to see the Cardinals go. Yeah, Cardinals are exciting because they're undefeated. Yeah. But no, any team. But any team. My point is, any team in the NFL, you're going to watch.
You're watching the Super Bowl.
100%.
And then you got these other leagues where they treat it like those Ocean's 11's movies, where they get 52 fucking movie stars, all in the same movie. That's what that's their dream shit. The NBA has basically decided that it's okay if the Miami Heat, the Lakers, Golden State Warriors just out of the draft became one of those darling cities that it's like, okay, but I don't understand that at all. Like the Houston Astros, it's a great fucking story. That's a great story. They could actually win and be like, well, fuck you, man. You guys all said the only reason why we won is because we banged on those trash cans. Well, now there's no trash cans, and we're kicking your ass again. There's a story there. Okay? And then you got all those rednecks down there doing the tomahawk chop, and who knew they had cell phones, Paul? I thought they were off the grid. I think it's fascinating. It's fascinating to me that the Atlanta Braves had already built a brand new stadium. But all those white people didn't want to deal with the traffic. They didn't want to go to the inner city. So they just sold it to fucking Georgia Tech, which turned it, I think, into a football field. And then they built a whole other stadium out by the suburbs so all those white people could feel comfortable. Now, here's the thing, Paul. I actually didn't buy the traffic. I didn't buy the traffic until a few weeks ago when I had to sit in it because they were playing, the Braves were playing the Dodgers. And the venue I was playing was like almost connected to the baseball stadium. So it was really exciting. But, dude, we sat in traffic. I was looking at the same traffic like for almost 30 minutes. I'm not, like 26 minutes we were sitting there like, right. I'm like, there's my gig. I could have crawled to my gig in the amount of time. And I'm thinking like, people got flat screen TVs, Paul. You got a popcorn maker. Your wife is CrossFit and she looks good to you. Well, why are you going to go down to the stadium? If you
love the team, it doesn't fucking matter. And speaking of loving a team, Bill, can I just talk about this for 1 second? I need my soapbox for 1 second because I'm going to tell you guys something that gives me joy to no end. Okay. Me and my son, when I tell you we are all in with the Knicks, we should be 4-0. We are 3-1. We put up 112 points last night with no player getting 20. Okay, which from what I'm hearing from analysts, that's a healthy sign. Okay, the Garden is back. We drafted a young team. We got kids 26 years and younger. Okay, we're fucking shooting the lights out of the fucking gym. We beat a couple of good teams. We beat a good Sixers team last night. We went into double overtime against the Celtics. I'm going to tell you guys something right now. My New York Knicks are fucking back. The Garden is back. I'm not saying we're going to win a championship, but we're going to the playoffs. We might get out of the first fucking round. And I got to tell you something. Nothing gives me more fucking. It's been years, dude. So I'm fucking thrilled.
Paul, you are this excited every year. You say this every year, 4 games in. I just wish I had tape of you for 17 seasons in a row. Dude, we cleared the salary cap. Allen Houston is finally off our thing. We just got this guy every year, Paul. Charlie Brown running in to kick that football. Paul, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for the Knicks. I don't understand why it has been this long. Part of you is you had Isaiah Thomas in your front office. The guy helped bankrupt an entire fucking basketball league. What God knows what he could do to one team.
Because we managed to have GMs that took a star 2 years from retirement and thought that the name would make us happy. And then he goes out there and he's a fucking shell of himself. And the Garden is going, what the fuck? Boo, boo. And we're signing all these oldies. And now we finally look like we have the model of what the Warriors did by getting an RJ Barrett from Duke, by getting young players, by drafting these young players. And now they're starting to buy in. And let's be honest, Tom Thibodeau is he's just a raspy horse voice fucking coach that screams defense. He was screaming at them when they were up 30 the other night. They were up 30 the other night, and he's going, get up. What are you? And I'm like, that's what we fucking lacked. So I'm really excited. And again, I don't know.
I'm happy for you.
I don't know if the Knicks are going to go far, but they're watchable, dude. They're fucking watchable. And it's fun.
Dude, that's how beaten down a Knicks fan is. You are this excited. You sound like you're going to win a championship, and you're just excited that you can watch them night in and night out. I've been so fucking buried. I'm working on this movie script. We're trying to sell this thing, and we had to do it was 120 pages long. We had to try to get down to like between 90 and 100. So I didn't watch any football on Sunday. I have not watched anything. I don't know what's going on. I missed that whole fucking scandal there, the stand-up scandal there. I got to show you something that's fun. You want to hear about like a liberal bias in the media, like how they frame things?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get into the whole fucking Chappelle thing, okay? Because I'm not getting involved in that. But it said so. Caitlyn Jenner. I love how she spells her name. Caitlyn. Like that was my thing. When Bruce became Caitlyn, I was like, what? Is this some Kardashian, publicity stunt? But when I saw the way that she spelt that name, I was just like, there was tremendous thought behind that. I didn't even know you could spell the name that way. So Caitlyn Jenner has spoken out in support of comedian Dave Chappelle, right? And this is what it is, okay? So now she's transgendered, right? Right? Is that the proper terminology?
You know what? I think so,
right?
I think so, yeah.
This is how they describe her. Dave Chappelle's 100% right. That's the quote. The former Republican candidate for California governor tweeted Tuesday. Like, is that even remotely her biggest credit? Even remotely. Like right there, they're trying to subconsciously and supposed to go, yeah, this conservative fucking son of a bitch. And it's just like, wait a minute. This is a transgender person who watched it and said, no biggie. It's fine. Weirdest... And then all of a sudden, Republican candidate. What, because you're transgender, you can't be a fucking Republican?
Dude, we are in the weirdest times ever. I did the Virzi effect this week. Giannis Pappas was my guest, and we did the difference between a Sicilian vendetta and a Greek vendetta. And he made he made a point where he said, the Sicilians, you're dead to them. Like head cut off, and then you never talk about them like they're dead. Whereas the Greeks like an active enemy. They like to talk about the enemy. They like to see that person do bad. And I actually kind of, as sad as this is to say, I've kind of seen both on both sides, where the Greeks like to look and go, they're fucking this, where the Italians are like dead to me, right? So I tweeted it out. I said, me and my buddy Giannis had a good discussion on the Virzi effect. Here's a clip I hope you enjoy. Giannis writes back something. He goes, yeah, man, Greeks are psychotic. Doesn't get more Greek than Giannis. Pappas. Giannis Pappas.
He can speak Greek.
And dude, they fucking canceled. They threatened to cancel his account. Instagram went at him. Twitter went at him saying you can't talk about a group of people being psychotic. I mean, we are in times that are fucking, even my wife who just ignores this just goes, what's going on in the world? Like, what the fuck is going on?
I know every little thing becomes like the Cuban Missile Crisis. And what's funny is it's only like 1,000 people talking about it.
That's it.
And everybody else is just sitting on the sidelines going, wow, they're really yelling at each other.
It's a small group. You're right. It is.
I don't understand this whole, I don't, I mean, it's just like everybody just, everybody fucking relax. Everything's going to be fine.
Is this a cup? Can I say cup? Is it okay is this a cup?
Dude, I was watching the weather when I'm in the gym, and the guy's talking about how we're now going to have whiplash weather and all this, essentially talking about the beginning of our ability to live on this planet. It's like the end of the world, and he's doing it with the fucking smile on his face, and there's no uproar. Like the uproar right now, I think should be about fucking sustainability, plastic, recycling. Dude, I swear to God, dude, you put that shit in recycling. Oh, I fucking recycle. You stick shit in a blue trash can. And I bet the percentage of that shit that still ends up in the ocean is fucking criminal, dude. It's fucking criminal. I don't know what we're doing. That is the most insane thing to me. But that shit is way on the back pages. Way on the back pages. And I don't know. It's crazy. But I just thought that was, if ever I saw a classic example. Who even remembers that she ran for governor? She didn't even get anywhere.
No, it was a cup of coffee. It was like 2 days.
Yeah, she came out. She went down looking.
The point of that
they
argument.
sent her back down to Hershey.
The point of that was to say Republican. That's it. The point of that article was to say Republican.
To say that and then to fucking try to give you that little earworm and then not have you listen to what she has to say after this.
Yeah. Is there anything better than being away from everybody and just trying to raise your kids to be normal, good people and watching your favorite team with your children win?
Is there anything worse than dropping them off at school and just seeing the fucking mouth breathers that also banged and didn't have protected sex, and you see their kids that your kid is not going to school with?
Yeah.
And you know there's nothing you can do about it?
No, that's terrible. Is there anything worse than your kid getting off the bus saying, I heard these kids saying these things? What does that mean? And it's just the dumbest, most ignorant thing.
I haven't gotten to that point yet.
Oh, you will. I mean, hopefully not. But dude, they run off the bus.
No, I know.
What does this mean? He said this, the older kid said this, and it's so horrible. And you feel the innocence taken from your kid. And you're like, well, I'm driving you every day.
Dude, I saw a woman the other day. We were at the playground and her kids were just fucking animals.
Ugh.
Animals. And the kid pushed another kid down. Right. And I'm clocking them because I'm sitting there going like, if these kids getting in my kids, it's going to be a fucking problem. Right.
Yeah.
So he pushes the kids down and the mother comes over. She goes, I'm sorry. My kids are bad. It's like,
yeah. What the fuck does that mean?
What does she mean? She tapped out. It's like, fucking do something about it.
They're wild. I can't control them. I have fucking parents like that. What could you do? Boys will be boys. It's like, no, fucking put the kid in his room. Take away his shit.
Yeah, you suck. It's like it's a rudderless ship. Those kids are acting that way because you haven't given them any fucking boundaries. And now I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about punting one of them over the swing set. And then if I do that, I'm a bad person.
Oh, dude, you just brought back a memory of when this little boy ran my daughter over at the park. He just started running and he was like 15 yards away. And I'm going, he's not stopping. And Sophia was a baby, dude. She was a toddler. And this kid must've been like 4. And it just like, before I could even think, he just bowled her over and she's crying. And his fucking fat grandmother like saw it and got up with a cane and started walking. And I go, but little boy, you can't do that. And I was just fucking glad his fucking grandmother was fat and with a cane. That's how fucking mad I got.
Oh yeah, the thoughts that you have if somebody hurts your kid, dude. I'm surprised
I
you
want it
didn't
to
beat
be
her.
like, what do you mean? Like, what do you? Yeah, it's like that thing you just sparked it in me when you go, I'm sorry, my kids are bad. It's like, no, your kids don't have a fucking chance, you fucking dope, because of you.
Yeah. No, people that like, there's so many people that like have kids that like, there's not so many, but there's enough that have kids that like, if you're not going to be involved, like we're all going to have to deal with them.
Is there anything better? Is there anything better than a good parent when the parent goes, I'm sorry, tell that man what you're, and then I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't mean, yeah, go tell him.
Oh yeah. Then you're like, fuck, good. You're like, good. You're going to raise hopefully a responsible adult. I got one, Paul. I got one. Is anything better than a backbend?
Oof.
Nobody does backbends. I don't do a fucking backbend because you can't do it. Because there's no way anybody can do like the down dog thing because you can get on all fours, but no one can go the other fucking way. After 30 years of sitting in rental cars and behind computers, I got the this is like a free product thing. I got those TRX bands. Mm-hmm. You tie them across twice and you create like a loop and then you put it right on your lower back and you're able to reach back like that. Dude, I feel like a fucking new man. Pulling that psoas out. Dude, that's why you get lower back pain. That psoas gets really tight and it's pulling you forward so your lower back has to activate. Dude, a back bend.
A back bend, yeah.
A fucking back bend. And at the same time, there's like blood rushing to your head. You get up, man. I feel like I took a steam.
Yo, Bill,
I'm not going to lie to you. The first time you do it, it's hard to breathe. There's something about your head. You're like, You're making all these weird noises and shit.
Yeah, dude, that's so funny. You're going to love this. So I go to physical therapy now, right? Because I'm in the last steps before needing the surgery on my, and I don't.
Paul, you're going to be bionic.
Right? So he goes like this. He goes, come here, you got some time? I go, yeah, I got some time. He goes, I want you to do a couple exercises. So he puts a band between my, like those bands that go, the stretchy bands. He puts them on my wrist.
It's a band, Paul. It's on your wrist. I got it.
Yeah, what's it called? I don't know what they're called, though, but whatever. So he goes, I want you to put your hands against the wall with the band on it, and I want you to do the clock, right? And I want you to stretch the band and do the clockwise this way, and then go this way, however you want to go, counterclockwise, right? So he goes, I want you to do 8 on this side, 8 on that side, and repeat it and do it 8 times, right? So I'm like, yeah, dude. By the 4th one, I'm going, yeah, and he's looking at me, and my shoulder starts burning. I'm going, yeah. I just stop for a second. I stopped, and I go, shit. He's going, no, I know it burns. And I'm just dude, I'm going, how am I? It went from me thinking it was the easiest thing to do to shoulders burn, neck burning. And I'm just going, woo, people are watching.
You're not a gym guy, Paul. Paul is a track guy. I'm going to go for a walk.
Steam, hot tub.
Steam, bathrobe, towel around the neck.
All the fun stuff.
Amenities. Yeah. I had no idea how much fun there was to have at a gym until I started going to the gym with you when we were on the road.
Remember me and you?
Paul just walks by the workout equipment.
Yeah, the best was me and Bill do a steam. They give us robes. I think we were in Canada. We do a steam. They give us robes. Then we sat on leather chairs in this little room with TVs, and they gave us tea. And I just looked like this. I stay here all day.
Yeah. I remember one time we were on the road and you did like 20 minutes on an elliptical and you got off and you were like, no one goes harder than me at the gym. You worked out like with a mom with 3 kids that had a half hour before she had to run out the door. Emily's going to get 20 minutes in. You weren't even sweating.
No. There was one I went with Bartnick where I stayed real long and he got off and I stayed like for a long, long time. I think that's the one you're talking about.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about the one you did 20 minutes on. That's why I was fucking laughing. You didn't go longer than us. You walked out with all of us.
No, but there was one time you weren't there and I went long with Bartnick, real long.
We see what you just did there? You're trying to insert that one into the time I was there when you said the shit, Paul. You're moving evidence around.
If I said the shit when you were there, I'm guilty. What are you going to do?
No, you said it, Paul.
No, I did say it, but I did.
You just said if I said it.
No, but what I'm saying is I did it long.
Oh, man, that's my wife gives those apologies.
What?
Well, if that's what I said, then I'm sorry. It's like, no, you fucking said it.
My wife gives those apologies. It's hilarious.
Well, listen, if that's how I made you feel, like that's that passive aggressive.
I don't know. I'm not a passive aggressive guy. I think you got me wrong. I'm not am I a passive aggressive? Have I ever been passive aggressive in all the times you know me? I'm not really like that.
Generally speaking, you're not, but that was. It's like me being calm. Generally speaking, I'm not calm, but I have the ability to sometimes.
No, you're calm in the times where most people aren't. That's the genius about you. You're calm. You're calm at times where 95% of people won't be calm, but you freak in times 95% of people won't freak.
That's 100% me. I'm trying to think what I freaked out about the other day, and it felt weird because I hadn't flipped out in a minute.
Like we always do.
No one can hear me.
Yeah, I would say.
I can't hear you. Why can't I fucking hear you? I plug the same fucking way in every goddamn week. Why is there a problem? MacBook Pro speakers, Shure microphone MV7. What is the problem?
Make sure the audio. I don't know.
Audio settings.
Speaker.
Should I hang up and call back?
Can you can't hear me, right? No.
Hello.
All right. Hit where that says the little arrow up next to the microphone. Just make sure the speaker's on built-in output, internal speakers. Sometimes when you plug it in, it makes it.
MacBook Pro speakers.
Yes.
It's on that.
Can you hear me through your laptop? Is the volume down?
Wait.
I don't know if the volume's down.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Bill? I got it. I got it now. Okay, cool.
So funny.
Come on. Paul's like, can you hear me? Is my microphone good? All right, let's get going.
All right. Roman?
Yes.
Okay.
Recording.
What's up, everybody? It is Roman. When the moment of intimacy arrives, you need to be ready. Roman Ready. Whether you've been in a relationship for years or are just getting started, having the confidence that comes from preparation means you're free to enjoy the moment when the moment comes. Even though you are far from the ordinary, the truth is that ED is really common. In fact, 52% of guys aged 40 to 70 experience some form of erectile dysfunction. That's a high number. Go to Roman.
Dude, you hammered and she goes for your junk. I mean, that counts.
Dude, 52% is, I thought it would be less than that. Go to Roman.com/better.
To 70?
I guess to 70.
Hey, what are you touching me for?
I feel like 70 is not old anymore. I know that's weird, but like I know
it's because you're getting older. People are living to be like 100.
Yeah.
Your dick taps out at about 68, though, it seems. Really skews the number. I was not surprised by 52%.
The UFC guy comes in, the ref.
Dude, you're married a long time. You just want to sit down.
Go to Roman.com/better now to speak to the U.S. licensed healthcare professional about erectile dysfunction and get $15 off your first month of treatment. ED is more common than you think. We just read that. Roman is confidence. What's it called? Confidence personified. I'm sorry. Roman.
Hey, if women had dicks, they'd blame ED on us.
Roman.
They would figure out a way.
Roman Ready is confidence personified. It is.
He's been wearing the same pajamas for like the last 10 years. I'm just not into it. Maybe if he get a nicer bathrobe. I just don't understand why this is all put on me. Why is ED just my problem? Sorry.
No, it's funny, man.
I'm in a good mood.
Roman's system is completely confidential and totally discreet. No big logos or labels on packages.
Hey, everybody, his dick doesn't work. We're going to fix it.
There's a huge sticker on the box outside your fucking mailbox.
Like a limp dick hanging down.
Oh, shit. With Roman, you get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for erectile dysfunction, all from the comfort and privacy of your home. A U.S. licensed healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, it ships to you free with 2 days shipping. The whole process is straightforward, convenient, and discreet. Getting started is simple. Just go to Roman.com/better and complete the online visit. Take care of your ED without leaving your home. Complete online visit today to connect with U.S. licensed healthcare professional and take care of it. Go to Roman.com/better today. If you're prescribed, get $15 off your first month ED treatment. Make sure you're ready to have confidence and control this fall. Roman Ready.
Roman Ready. Put your helmet on, Thurman. You're going back in the game.
All right. Dude, that's funny, dude. Your discreet package got me hard. I don't know why. That's just...
Well, I mean, you got to be thinking that. If you're getting dick pills, you don't want everybody in the building to know.
Your neighbor's like, Paul, you got a package. Just leave it there.
Yeah. I know.
You want me
That's
to
a federal offense. Get your hands off my mail.
Mind your business, Mike. Oh, shit. All right. Okay, here we go. Oh, so now we go into...
All right. My dick doesn't work, okay? Is everybody happy now? And I have to take these fucking pills to make it work.
I don't appreciate your dog on my lawn either, Mike. Just starts labeling shit. Oh, fuck, dude. That got me. Oh, dude. Anybody?
Oh, I know what it was.
What?
I was walking, cell phone in this hand, and I was trying to fucking do something, like put my mask on or something, but this was just wide enough that I couldn't do it. I forget what it was. And I was in like the parking lot, and I just yelled out, I go, "Of course!" And this woman was near. This woman was near a car, like fucking looked up, like what the fuck. But other shit, like I swear to God, if my house burned down, I'd be like, hey,
I'm telling you right now.
Well, it's kind of nice to not own shit,
You would be somebody that I would want to be in a foxhole with. And I mean that. Like, you're the thing. Like, if there was a killer in the house and the lights were off and me and you were in a room and you go, dude, he's in the house. You would actually be, as crazy as this is, Bill would go, all right, dude, here's the thing, dude. Just go in there, lock the door, grab something. He comes in. You would be in a total where other people would. But yeah, like speaking of that, I'm watching, Halloween week. By the way, it's a Halloween episode 39 of Anything Better. This is our first Halloween episode. And guys, this is what I'm doing at night. You ready for this? Anybody? It's the greatest thing you could do. I like horror movies now. So what I do is go to bed. Kids go to bed. We eat dinner, whatever, watch a game. 11 o'clock. Paulie goes downstairs by himself, sits down next to the dog. Slasher film every night of October, and I try to find the ones that like have suspense. I fucking love it, dude. I love it.
I hate horror movies.
Oh, dude, I love it.
They scare the shit out of me, dude. I tell you, don't watch those the fucking Japanese ones or the Korean ones. Those guys, they don't fuck around. Oh, they're trying to ruin your life.
Yeah, no, dude. I saw
one. I could never get through it. I ended up having to go do something, but I had nothing, no desire. This woman and a kid. So it's perfect, right? Female and a child. And there's no man there to protect them. Not to be sexist, ladies, okay? This wasn't Ronda Rousey. This was just some woman with the kid, right? And there was some fucking thing in there. It was called Babadook or something like that. And the fucking thing, I just remember the thing was just be going, at night it would be going, Babadook, Dook, Dook. It sounds fucking stupid, but I swear to God, this thing scared the shit out of me. I got mad at the movie. I'm like, they shouldn't have fucking kids in horror movies.
Oh, dude,
Dude, I hated that one.
That's your fear,
The Ring. The Ring, I actually thought the American version of The Ring was scarier than the original. Dude, I told you this one. I watched one time. I watched this one movie called Dark Night of the Scarecrow. All right. And it was like back in the day, a lot of horror films were scarier than today's because they had bad special effects. It was all about building up the suspense. So I watched this movie, Dark Night of the Scarecrow. And I'm trying to remember. It was basically, there was some special needs guy, which was a big trope in fucking horror movies, I think, back in the day, right? Some mentally challenged kid, and some woman died. The hot chick in the town died, and I think the guys, the cool guys in town did something to her and killed her, so they blamed the special needs kid. They were like, it was him. He was like, he was like one of these guys, he was like, still living at home. He was like 24 or something. So they fucking chased him out into a cornfield, and the kid was trying to hide, and he got into the scarecrow. And then they saw him in there, and they all knew he was in there. They're all acting like, what is it? And they fucking blew the guy away. Jeez. All right? So then, like, the next day, a couple days later or whatever, one of the guys that helped kill him is hanging in his house with his hot girlfriend, and she's just going like, hey, I really appreciate all the work you've done around here, blah, 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 blah. And she goes, yeah, when did you put up the scarecrow out in the field? He goes, I didn't put a scarecrow up there. And then they just cut to the field. It was like, kink, that noise, and the fucking thing is out there. The same fucking dude. And this guy goes back and starts killing all of the guys. Dude, it was so fucking scary. I was actually rooting for the townspeople. I was rooting against the special needs kid who was killed. I wanted him to kill him again just so I could the movie would be over.
You sound like you get mad when you get scared. Like my little brother gets mad when he gets scared. There was this movie in French called Martyrs. And dude, it was about a woman who had multiple personality, and she was a fucking psychopathic killer. And this one thing where she takes this guy's head and she fucking basically slams it against a dresser with something, and the guy's head just rips off and blood starts squirting out. And my little brother was scared. So he just goes, that's fake. He was so fucking scared. He wanted it to be fake so much that he's like, that's fake. But no, dude, I like the suspense. I watched this one.
Why would you want to feel like that? Why would you just want to sit there being like, fuck. And then now all of them, they try to turn all of them into a franchise. So there's always that little twist in the end, after the credits or something, where the fucking thing's still alive. So there's no satisfaction. Like it used to be back in the day. Like at the end, they killed the fucking thing. And then the next movie would come out and they would show how it came back to life.
Well, what's happening in a lot of horror movies now is you think that what they're doing to make people, like especially horror movie buffs, come back is the main character who you think is going to survive. Like I watched this one, they got this kid in a van and they finally got him. They were stalking him the whole fucking movie and they finally got him and he's in the van, and the fucking killer just comes over and does that whole fucking tilt in his head thing, and he looks at a knife and he just puts it to the kid's neck and he just fucking does it. He just puts it in and the kid's going, ah, and then the kid's just head goes down and the kid dies. And the whole goal of what the killer wanted to do to that kid actually happens. And then the news just goes, more bodies washed up on shore in the California, blah, blah, blah. And then it just ends with those fucking freaks still doing it. So it actually leaves you with the fucked up thing. And the fucked up thing about that was that's based on true events that was happening throughout college campuses and bodies washing up on the beach. So it's not the most pleasant thing, but it's Halloween.
Wait a minute. Wait, there was people killing college kids and they were washing up on the beach?
Yeah, it's basically throughout, I guess, a certain amount of years, a ton of bodies were being found ashore. And what was happening?
You're just saying what you just said to me. Like, where did it happen and when?
It happened in California, like campuses that are near the water in California. This was happening. I got to look at the name of the movie, but it said this is based on true events that happened, and they never actually found the group of people that was doing it. They didn't know if it was like a satanic thing, a cult. It was a
group of people killing college kids, throwing them in the ocean, and then they washed up on the shore in California, the state I live in, and I missed it. When did this happen?
So there's some stuff that people think that might actually be bullshit. So one of the guys pushing that theory, apparently he was on an episode of Tim Dillon's podcast, but he didn't even air it because he said this guy's out of his mind and he thought that maybe that was all bullshit. So not saying Tim's right or whatever, but
maybe that guy's already killed people.
If you look into it, it might not be as tight as that story. But I did hear about that, Paul, and I have heard people say that that's bullshit. That these are all separate.
This is what's funny about Paul.
Is the movie allowed to say this is based on true events that happened in this California?
Sure, but they just don't know if this is actually something that was all done by the same people. I think that's what's being disputed.
Part of the horror. It's part of the marketing, Paul.
It's all the same.
Paul, what's funny about you, Paul Virzi, in real life, reads people like I've never seen. But you get Paul eating some popcorn and some fucking candy in a movie theater, and he will literally think in the end that Courtney Love killed Kurt Cobain. Like, he just buys it. This fucking guy, one time we had a tour bus guy, and like Paul, in 3 seconds, I don't like this guy. I'm like, what the fuck, man? You're putting a bad mojo on the tour here. And he goes, he's selfish. He's fucking selfish. Dude, this guy redefined fucking selfish. Redefined fucking selfish. I still remember the guy's name, so I don't ever get that guy again.
I appreciate that recognition.
So, yeah, dude, that was one of your great calls.
I remember Lawhead. I remember Jason Lawhead goes, dude, we're not even a quarter of a tank into this thing, and Virzi hates this guy. I knew what that guy was.
It was over.
Early. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because we also had the greatest guy ever. We had Steve before that, Steve Moore. But what was I going to say? But you get into a movie theater. I mean, you just go in. Paul is just you're buying it, Paul. The lights go down. What's your candy? But Paul Virzi goes like, it's a ritual. Paul goes to the fucking movies.
Yeah.
And gets I don't think I've ever met anybody that enjoyed. Like, I really like going to the movies. And I really miss it because of the pandemic. But like, I used to like going to the movies with you just to see how it was like going with a kid.
It's one of my favorite. It's because when my parents were divorced, we visited my dad on Sundays, and that's what we did. And movies were always therapeutic to me. That's why I miss Blockbuster Video. I used to tell Stacy, I'm going to the movie store. And dude, I would just peruse. I would go up and down aisles. Bill, I would go up and down aisles. I was best friend. I was not best
I just love that you said peruse.
Dude, I was such dear friends with the manager at Blockbuster. I'd walk in, what's up, man? Hey, did you see that one? Oh shit! I swear to God, it was like I was talking sports in a barber shop. I loved it. Movies make me feel good, but you are right about this. When I see the words based on true events or based on a true story, nothing gets me more excited than that. That's one of my big That's one of my big ones, dude.
Well, at that point, like the liberty that you can take when you write based on a true story can literally be like, these guys went out fishing and their boat sank and they died.
How is that legal? How is it legal to see people, victims die and say this is based on things that happened?
The same way they can say something is non-fat or has no trans fat, but it actually has a percentage of it. It just comes down to like legal speak and money and influence and all of that crap.
You know what fascinates me is like that Zodiac killer in the Bay Area and stuff. What fascinates me is that evil shit like that people have that evil in them, the serial killers without conscience, and they do that, and you feel horrible for these victims. But the fact that exists out there in the world that we live in while we're having fun, we're talking football, we're laughing at farts, we're fucking eating fast food, we're doing all these things.
We're prey, Paul. We're basically prey. We're like rabbits, just fucking hopping around.
You ever think that those serial killers like laugh at a fart? Or like, you ever think like, I was wondering if like Jeffrey Dahmer would like go into Starbucks, and would he just get a coffee and just be like fucking chill? Like, I always wonder what those guys do during the day.
I always wondered if they thought about what they did.
Yeah. Or like, did they have a favorite team?
Like, like I'm trying to quit cigars and you're just sitting there going like, all right, did it again last night. I am not killing anyone for the month of October. Like they're sober Octobers. They don't kill anybody.
Yeah. Yo, it made me think
I am only putting groceries in my trunk in the month of October. I'm so upset with myself.
I'm laughing like I'm high on this one. No, but like if Jeffrey Dahmer loved the Brewers because he was from Milwaukee and he's just like carving up a knife, just like a grand slam. And he's like, fuck.
Get him out of there. The Milwaukee Brewers, you know what goes great with beer? A nice calf sandwich.
If they don't fire this manager and he's just fucking
I swear to God, if they don't fire this guy by the end of the month, I'm going to track him down and eat him. Dude, what is with Wisconsin? Wisconsin is like, like Western Pennsylvania's where all the quarterbacks came from for a while. Dude, all the serial killers were coming from with like the greatest, like the Jordan of serial killers, Ed Gein, where they made like.
Wasn't Ed Gein Texas or no?
No.
Texas.
He was such a fucking lunatic. They just took pieces of what the fuck he did, no pun intended, and they would build franchises off of that.
Yeah.
Like they couldn't do the all-encompassing. Someone was just like, it was a treasure trove of horror that this guy did. I mean, he had the whole, he was the guy making like fucking, suits out of people's fucking, I don't want to get into this shit. He would just have like,
yeah, like shit, lampshades and shit.
Like his wind chimes were like jawbones and shit when they showed up. I mean, the guy was a fucking lunatic.
I was going to do a bit, but then I saw Sam Morrell was talking about something, but like, do serial killers look at other serial killers' work? And that was like a serious question. Like if like Dahmer's watching it and they're talking about like another guy.
They definitely have. I bet they definitely have envy because there was that guy, the BTK killer, and he wanted a nickname.
Yeah,
he wanted a nickname, and they wouldn't give him a nickname, and he was pissed because everybody, the Hillside Strangler, the Boston Strangler, and fucking whatever. These guys get these nicknames, right? Son of Sam. And he had nothing. And then he came with that Bachman Turner fucking overdrive, whatever the hell he came up with. The BTK killer. You see the guy? He looked like he fixed watches. That was the scariest thing about that
dude,
guy.
He was like a church-going guy. Nobody knew it was him, dude. He got fucked because of, my brother told me the story of what finally made him, but he was like a church-going guy that was just so
No, they
unassuming.
fucked with him in the media. They could tell that he had an ego. So they were saying things, and then he got. I think that was him, and then they were able to draw him out by making claims that they were getting closer. I can't remember how they did it. It was really brilliant. It was like, how a woman gets you to say something so they can win the fucking argument. Always goes back to that with me, Paul.
They said that last week or whatever, right, Andrew? They said that that group of investigators or that group of private investigators said that they definitely 100% said that the Zodiac killer was that Gary Post guy. And then they were like, the FBI was like, you can't say 100% that it was definitely him, but he was like one of three. But they got it down to three guys that it was, and they're all
that's
dead.
What's great about the DNA thing is they can at least bring closure to those poor people that fucking. I mean, dude, I saw one time. I can't. This is like such. I mean, it's Halloween. I saw this time. This guy was addressing this guy that fucking killed his daughter, and the killer looked at the father and smirked, and the guy just fucking lunged across the table.
And killed him?
No, he tried to. I mean, it's just like, in a perfect world, they should have let the guy fuck him up a little bit.
Yeah,
they literally go in there and they're protecting this fucking murderer. I don't understand it.
That's why the mob does things better than the law.
Do they, Paul?
That guy wouldn't be in court if it was,
Okay, and then he'd be leaning on you with your little Paulie's Pizza Parlor, and they'd be coming down. I don't know, Paul. I don't know. Something could happen. It's pepperoni. All of a sudden, you end up in the pizza. I'm like, I don't fucking know. Do they, Paul?
It's a good point.
It is a good point.
That is a
fantastic point.
But I still like the idea of that piece of shit getting killed.
I'll go with you on that one.
Are you dressing up, Bill? Are you the dad that dresses up with his kids or not?
Dude, I had a hilarious idea for fucking Halloween. I was gonna go out as Mayfeld from The Mandalorian.
Oh my God. Dude, that would be fucking so great, dude. And dress one of your kids up as Baby Yoda. Oh my God.
And then when people came up to me, I would just say that it wasn't me.
Oh, that dude.
That's a mask, man. It's a mask. This is just
dude,
fucking.
Oh my God, that looks just like him.
Go out and win a contest.
You fucked up if you lost.
Dude, I knew this. Oh, that'd be great. Dude, I knew this fucking chick. She could sing her ass off. She used to work at Hilarities. Could sing her ass off. And she was a single mom. And she told me one night how she used to hustle karaoke. Where she would go down there.
That's great.
Where they would have a contest. I go, so what do you go in there and just fucking win the thing? And make all this money? She goes, no, then you only get paid once. She would sing good enough to get third place. And then she'd come back a week later, sing good enough to get second place. I mean, just the control of her voice. And then it's like, all right, this is the money week. And then she'd just come out there. And I'm just picturing people being like, wow, man, she's really practicing. I mean, she's lucky she didn't get remember, you probably never saw this movie. Did you ever see The Hustler?
Of course.
With Paul Newman? Yeah, remember when they figure out he's hustling them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's lucky that didn't hit. Somebody gives her a fucking throat chop. But I was just I remember listening to that story. I was like, dude, 2 times I was in Cleveland and hanging at that bar, that martini bar. Love that club.
I love that bar.
And women told me these fucking amazing stories. I remember one time I was there and there was 2 women there. And hey, we enjoyed the show, blah, 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 blah. We start talking or whatever. And I go, so what do you guys do? And they go, we're gold diggers. They literally said that. I go, what? She goes, yeah, they laugh. Yeah, we're gold diggers. I go, all right, well, this is when Cleveland was really fucked up. When
were they fucking with you about your bit or no?
No. I don't even know if they went to the show. They were just hanging out. So I was like, all right. I'll bite here. How are you gold diggers in Cleveland? This place looks like it's going underwater. This is when Nick's Club was the only game in town on that 4th Street there.
4th Street, yeah.
I go, where do you go? And she broke the whole thing down. They would go to steakhouses, and they would hang out at the bar. And you think about that. The kind of people that go to steakhouses, it's usually an older guy, coming down there with the blue sport coat. They would go in. They would start chatting these guys up. Wow. And a lot of them had courtside seats. to like the Cavaliers. And then they go to the Cavaliers game and then they try to make eye contact with the player. And then their deal was they never went to the bathroom at the same time because they kept an eye on their drinks. And they always made sure that they drove separately from the guys to the game.
What?
So they kept like the buffer. And she said, yeah, somewhere around the third quarter, they would start realizing they weren't getting laid and they'd start getting mad. But hopefully by then, during a timeout, you were able to make eye contact with somebody. Dude, I sat there like I was doing a radio show with Joe DeRosa. I got their contact info and I was trying to get serious to like, we got to fly them in to tell these stories.
Dude, that's fascinating.
I mean, once they said steakhouse, I was like, holy shit. Every time I go to the steakhouse, there's those fucking big watch, cigar smoking fucking
100%.
marks. You're a fucking mark. And you're in your ego and you're crushing your business and you're a particular age and these two cuties are looking at you and yeah, I still got it. I'm still virile. It's still happening. And they're playing you.
Just throwing fucking fastballs.
Yeah, what do you guys like to do? I don't know. I'm a big Cavs fan. Oh, I got a hookup. I'll take you to the game. It was amazing.
That's premeditated. That's like serial killer premeditated.
Dude, it was fucking amazing. Dude, I'm telling you, the two, I remember like, I would just sat there like this going like, I mean, that's fucking amazing. And I asked him everything. I go, so what happens like at the end of the night? And, you know, when those guys realized you played them or whatever, she goes, yeah, sometime around the third quarter, they realize they're not getting laid. And I'm just picturing the energy of that. And then what if this fucking steak drinking guy's had a few? But then what's the genius is they're in public. I mean, the whole fucking thing is just like, it's so just worked out.
Calculated, yeah. But I thought, some of those girls would fuck. I mean, they are pieces of shit. Let's be honest.
I look at it this way. It's like at this point in my life, it's just like they didn't have the family structure they needed unless they were born that way. You know what I mean? Because there are people that are just born like those serial killers. They're just born just not caring or feeling about things.
What ages were these women? What ages would you say?
Oh, God, dude. This is going back to like 2006, so I can't remember. They were
under 40? Under 40?
Oh, yeah.
No?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. They weren't young either. They had some miles on them. But like, you know, they were off that night, I guess. So they were just telling me those stories or whatever.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah, dude. I've had some. I remember one time I got in a taxi cab when I was in San Francisco, and I got in there, and there was an Asian guy driving, and he had the most hardcore Southern accent I'd ever heard in my life, and I was like, this guy is a fucking star. Why? I remember calling the Opie and Anthony show, going, you got to get this guy on because he was fucking hilarious. And I got in, he's just like, hey, how y'all doing? I thought he was fucking with me. And I'm looking at his face and I'm hearing the accent and it just doesn't match. He's like, oh, you know, I'm like, I'm doing good. He goes, oh, it's great, man. It's a beautiful day, isn't it? I'm just going like, what the fuck? And I finally go, what happened? He's like, oh, yeah, man, I grew up in Tennessee. I was like the only fucking Asian guy out there, da-da-da, and all this shit. And then it got even deeper. Because he asked me where I was. I said, I'm a comedian. I go, dude, you got to call in a radio show. You should be on like Howard Stern calling in. They would this like you could make money, dude. I've never met anybody like you. And he was fucking the coolest guy. And he said, oh man, I did that show business stuff for a little bit. And he started telling me, dude, he was an extra when they shot Dirty Harry, when it was in fucking San Francisco. He was one of the people up on the counter. He goes, watch it. He goes, I was a featured extra. He came in. I talked to him a little bit, but they don't talk to you much when you're an extra. Just sitting there going like, oh my God. I remember I got his phone number and I either gave it to Opie or Anthony, and I can't remember what happened. They had so many, Pat from Munaki guys. But it was just like, I was trying to explain. I was like, you got to get this guy in. This guy, and he had was really into politics, so he was getting passionate, and the Southern accent. Like, I'll tell you what the fucking problem is when you got the public schools are going by the fucking wayside. He was cursing and all of this shit. And I have never met anybody like this guy in my life. And I didn't want the cab ride to end. And like, he had me laughing my ass off. He was funny as hell. Trying to I've met some fucking people out there on the road. And I'm telling you, you know, if you just shut up and you listen to their stories, dude, like the fucking stories that some people have. Yeah. I mean, obviously, you know, you meet like a veteran that saw action, you know what I mean? Like, but those guys aren't going to like really open up about it, you know, if they really saw shit, you know what I mean? That's kind of what I learned with those guys. Like the guys that saw much less start really running their yaps. And, you know, the guys that are quiet, you're like, all right.
So there's a guy that I met in this business. I did a festival in Tucson, Arizona, and I just hear this guy like this really weird, and the whole place looked at him. And I met this guy, and he started doing comedy. He's one of the most fascinating people I ever met in my life. And I actually talked to Mike Berlina about doing this guy's story and animating his stories. This guy is like Forrest Gump. He wrote 2 books. He was a Vietnam vet. He was a bookie. He's got a book called Confessions of a Bronx Bookie. He tells me that the 1969, you know, he's the guy I told you. He says that the 1969 Super Bowl was fixed and he could prove it. And then you talk to him. He was a freshman in college at the University.
Don't do that to Jet fans. Don't take their only title away.
No, listen, this is, I don't know if he's trying to sell, but this dude was one of the most sober now, was a freshman in college. It was like literally like back to school with Dangerfield. He was a freshman at college at the University of Florida at 53 years old. He got his writing degree. Author, everything, and the guy just tells stories. So I had him on the podcast when we did an All Things Comedy Festival, and I had Ryan Sickler and Court McCown and a couple people, and he came on talking, and everyone's like, "Who's this Billy O'Connor guy you're having on?" I go, "Just watch, dude." Ryan Sickler's face, everyone's like this while he's talking. All these comedians who all we do is fucking blab and talk, we're just like this. He just went into stories about gambling. He went into stories about parlays and teases and what they think when that happens. He went into stories about like, owing people money, drinking, Vietnam, 9/11. And you're just like, and you could tell by his voice and who he was that it was, and he's a really generous, gracious guy. But like, you listen to a guy like that, you're like, what the fuck do I have to say? This guy.
Dude, I ran into a guy. I don't want to tell this guy's stories because I feel like someday he's going to write a book. He was a comedian. I'm going to try to tell this as light as I can to not take this guy's story. But basically, he used to work security for big rock bands. And one of his jobs was to figure out how people were going to sneak into the venue. And they were working some gig on an island. And he asked around, he figured it out, like the venue was like right up near the water where there was a harbor. It had like a fence, and these kids used to swim in, and they would hop the fence, and then they'd be in the venue. So him and his brother went down to the market, and they bought a bunch of horse meat, and they chummed the water right before the show and got a bunch of sharks in there.
What?
And no one snuck in.
Holy shit.
Dude, this guy...
Wow.
And all of the shit he told me, it all checked out because I remember he was saying he never wrote a book because if he wrote a book, then you don't get asked back by the band. And this one of his buddies, the band was going back out again, and he goes, "Hey, man, they're not asking me." And he goes, "Dude, you wrote a book." And this guy, he saw him on the tour. He saw him writing shit down on a little piece of paper, and he wrote a book. And, dude, it was the most obscure, out-of-print book. And he knew the title of it, and it was written by this security guy. It was like in the early 70s. And I went online that night because the guy's stories were so mind-blowing. I was like, I got to fact check this. And I looked it up, and it fucking existed, you know, on like Amazon. You could buy some beat-up copy for like 99 cents. And, dude, this guy had, I was like, I go, why don't you just go on Letterman and tell these fucking stories? And he said, they've asked me to, and blah, blah, blah. He goes, I don't. He just was a loyal guy. He's like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So that's why I kind of told it like, as light as I could here. But
I love hearing good stories because a lot of times people always tell stories about, you hear this guy? Oh, I heard that guy's a piece of shit. Oh, yeah, this guy on an airplane. But I love hearing stories about the dopest story, the most gangster shit I ever heard in show business. I mean, there's a couple of stories. there's a couple of comedians that did shit. Jay Leno has some epic ones, but the dopest shit I ever heard in my life was there's a famous Thai restaurant. There's a famous Thai restaurant in Vegas, right? It's fucking known. I forget. Locust something. It's huge, known. And it's Christmas time. And fucking Smokey Robinson is in there. And he's fucking eating the place is packed. And this fucking dude, people are going nuts that he's in there. This fucking dude goes up to the owner. He gives his card. He pays for everybody. And this is everybody proved this too. That I heard this from multiple people. He paid for everybody in the Thai restaurant's dinner, and then sang White Christmas, and then left. Dude, yeah. He sang White Christmas while people were eating during Christmas time and paid the bills and left. That's the most fucking gangster shit, dude.
It is, but I gotta admit, if I was there, that'd be super awkward. I'd be like, dude, you don't have to pay. Just please stop singing. You don't have to. Appreciate it.
Smokey, no. Dude, that'd be like Sinatra, though. Like Sinatra just being like, hey, everybody, I just, and then just.
The summer wind came blowing in, and he's standing right next to you.
You're like this.
And you're like looking down from across the sea. Is he going to sing both verses? All right, Frank. Thanks, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate it. I didn't bug you during the meal. Like, why are you bugging me now? It lingered there.
That is funny. After the second verse, you're like,
here. Yeah. I'm like you. I like to be left alone. And walk with me.
Yeah, you ever had to tell everybody he paid for the dinner so they were in it?
He's eating with his horn section. They pull out their horns all summer long. They sang along.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. No.
Anyway, I got to kind of like wrap this thing up, too, because like I have to have this copy of the script done by tonight. Oh, we're going to be burning the midnight oil. I cannot wait for tomorrow, Paul, because the script will be done. And I can just go back to my regular workload. I have no idea if the Celtics started playing. I have no idea what their record is. How are they doing?
No, the Celtics went into a good Charlotte team and won. That kid, what's his name? Jaylen Brown, dude. He fucking yammed it on some kid hard. It was like
it's Jaylen and Jason Tatum's team. It's been their team forever, and I think they finally cleared out the way,
Dude, he didn't dunk on this guy. He dunked on this guy and then put his dick in his mouth, dude. That
guy's amazing. No, him and Jason Tatum are what everybody knows they need to build around. Those are our future, and they're super young. And you just got me excited to watch the Celtics.
No, he dropped 42 in front of me and my son, and it was a great game.
Hey, Paul, I got the fucking NBA package, and I got the center ice package, all right?
I'll get the NFL package. You think
I got the NFL package. I got all the packages, Paul. I got them all.
Guys, this has been our Halloween episode 39. By the way, thank you all who have gone to the merchandise store of the Anything Better podcast. We got the sweatshirts and we got the t-shirts. They're going like hotcakes. Bill is Freddy Krueger. I am Jason Voorhees. It's a great shirt. My wife is so psyched because anytime she sees tie-dyed. So the tie-dyed ones are great. And there's going to be more stuff as the seasons go on. Please continue to like, review, subscribe to the Anything Better podcast. Get it on iTunes, Spotify, everywhere you get your podcasts. Also, obviously, the Monday Morning Podcast, The Virzi Effect, YouTube, dates, websites. Oh, and I'll be at my last date of the year. I'll be at the Stress Factory in Bridgeport, Connecticut, Thanksgiving weekend.
You don't have any more dates?
November 26th and 27th, and your boy is taking December off. I am
fucking
taking
Paul Virzi knows how to live.
Listen to me. My special is done. We're almost done editing it. We're going to name it this week. December, I'm home for the holidays. Make no mistake. Home for the fucking holidays.
Paul's going to be buying pizza slices for everybody and singing "I'll Be Home for Christmas" as he walks out.
I'll sing Silent Night for all the fucking neighbors. Give a fuck.
Hey, sing it for that fucking lunatic 2 blocks over. Silent Night. Oh, fuck
you. Oh, yeah, dude. That's I waved at him coming up the street the other day.
Did he wave back?
No, I don't even know if he's just like flying by. I will tell you this. If anybody hits my kids because they're driving fast, my career's over because I'm killing somebody. But anyway, it's a weird way to end it. But anyway,
hey, you got that John Gotti gene. John Gotti did that shit. That was it. Never saw him again.
No.
What was that guy thinking that he didn't immediately fucking move out?
Yeah, that's brutal, man. Anyway, this has been episode 39. Weird way to end it, but it's Halloween. So be safe out there. Go trick or treat with your kids. Enjoy yourself. Until next week, we are out of here. Take care.